10xing your social skills will change your life. I went from panicking and throwing up the first time I moved to a city and had to go out by myself to going out every single weekend solo traveling around the world by myself, meeting friends, meeting girls, all with supreme confidence. There's 3 simple things that I did that allowed me to have this social success. The first and most important aspect to all the social success that I had was becoming the absolute best version of myself through self-development. I want you to think of 2 guys in a bar. Let's say you have to go talk to one of them. Which one are you going to want to talk to? Guy A, he's there, he's overweight, he seems really insecure, he hasn't been taking care of himself, his style's not that good, he might have a mustard stain on his shirt, he might be fidgeting, playing with a button or a zipper, his beard isn't too well upkept, it's kind of scruffy, his hair doesn't look that good, it's long and it just probably looks like it smells. Or guy B, he is there, his style is sharp, he's wearing a leather jacket, some jeans, he's looking fresh, you see he's been in the gym, his fits him really well. He's got a clean shave, good haircut. He's standing there calmly, smiling at people, talking to girls. Which guy do you want to go talk to? It is so obvious it is the second one. So all the social success that you're going to have is going to come from you being the best version of yourself, because that is who people are going to want to interact with. No one wants to interact with someone who is a loser and is going to bring them down. People want to be surrounded by winners, people who can help them in their own journey, who can inspire them. That's one of the things that I've done with many of the people I've met. They say, wow, you've inspired me to want to go to the gym, or you're inspired me with your courageousness to go out to clubs alone and talk to every pretty girl you see. The more that you can inspire other people and then also make them feel good, you're gonna really win the hearts and minds of a lot of people. So here's some of the things that I'd recommend you to do in order to really self-develop and allow you to have that social success that I've had. So the first thing is gonna be getting your physical health, your appearance in order. So going to the gym, really trying to build as much muscle as possible, getting to 8 to 15% body fat. Beyond that, just eating right. This is really going to allow you to be healthy overall, have a clear mind, a healthy body. So just eating all the right things. And then on top of that, it's going to be just really looks maxing your appearance. Finding if a clean shave works for you or if a beard is better, making a haircut that works well and keeping it upkept like every couple weeks, making sure you're keeping it looking sharp. On top of that, just having the best style possible. So I've been really working on this over the last few years and few months, even more specifically, is really just trying to get my style to look really, really good. And this doesn't have to be designer clothes or anything like that. It can just be timeless classics that really look good together. So when you wear them, it just makes you kind of elevate the physique and the face and everything that you've done. The style is just like the cherry on top. So that's gonna be making yourself as presentable as possible, allowing you to have great first impressions. And then beyond that, in terms of the internal things that you should be doing, I'd recommend reading, meditating, and journaling. So let's dive into each one of them real quick. With reading, this is just gonna give you so many new ideas. Like for example, I'm reading a book right now on how to be more charming. These are books that I've read many times over again, but the more you can really get these ideas solidified into your head, every time you read them, you're gonna come with a new perspective from all the new life experiences you've had. So I'm always reading, adding to my repertoire of knowledge, and then going out and actually applying those things. Having things to think about and ideas on your mind is never gonna hurt you. If you just never read anything and ever consume any sort of knowledge from people, you're gonna be massively left behind by someone who is. The next thing is gonna be gratitude journaling. I want you to think of going into a conversation with someone who's just so happy and appreciative for all the things that they have versus someone who's always complaining and negative and down. Obviously, you wanna be with the happy, appreciative person. It is so clear and obvious, and gratitude journaling will do this for you. For example, I'll give you one thing I can think of I'm grateful for right now. I'm grateful for putting in all the work to get this physique that I now have. That is something I'm very proud of. I've put in so much work between the gym, my diet, sleep, sacrificing other things that would take away from it. All these things have led me to have the physique that I have now, and I'm so grateful for all the past work that I've put in for it. When you can think of 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for every single day, you're gonna cultivate a mindset of more appreciation and gratitude versus the person who doesn't. And this is going to carry over into every aspect of your life, and it's just going to be portrayed in your conversations. You're going to say less complaining, negative things and more positive, uplifting, and inspiring ones. And the last thing is going to be meditation. One of the key things to being charismatic and charming and being able to win friends and influence people in conversations is going to be actually being present and engaging in this conversation. If you have the attention span of a monkey, you're not going to be able to have social success. You need to be able to pay attention to what people are saying, stay engaged in the conversation, make them want to actually be your friend. If you just look at your phone, if you're running around the room, if you're distracted by everything that's going on around you, you're not going to make many friends, I promise you. So meditation is going to cultivate the skill of concentration, awareness, focus, and it's going to help you in every aspect of your life, especially with social skills. Now, self-improvement is great, and it's something that you should 100% be doing. But if you don't actually bring the best version of yourself to the world, put yourself out there, go and introduce yourself to people, this improvement won't translate over to your social life. Crazy concept, I know. So you need to be putting yourself out there, actually going out and meeting people in order to directly improve your social skills. Crazy. So what is this all about? You really just need to go out there and introduce yourself to people. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. A smile, a hi, a what's your name will take you so much further than you would imagine. Let me give you two examples, one when I was having an off night, and then one when I was at my peak of social success. So let's start with the off night. So recently, or no, not recently, this was a while ago, a couple of years ago, I was in a new city. I went by myself. The bar I went to just really wasn't socially fitting. I didn't know anything about it. I drove an hour to go check out this new city, and I felt really out of place. I was not in an area that was kind of my type of thing. So I really didn't talk to too many people. I ended up just walking around this club. There was like one or two guys who maybe started talking to me first. But beyond that, I felt very out of place. I didn't really start any conversations. And the night wasn't too crazy. I mean, nothing really happened. I just ended up driving home, and it was just an experience, but nothing too good came out of it. And that was it. Versus most recently when I was in Sweden, I went to this new city and I would hang out there. So from the second I would even get on the train, I would start talking with people. I remember making a friend for the train ride. We would talk about the girls we were getting with, things like that. Then I'd get to the city on the line to the bar or club. I would be chatting with people there. Whoever's around me, I would start talking to them every single time. Once I get in, I'm saying hi to the guards. I go to the bar. I start talking to the people around me there. And that is how I was operating there in Sweden in that new city. And those nights were amazing. I ended up having so many friends just from people I would always end up seeing in those bars and clubs. And then I would get with a bunch of girls as well, just by simply introducing myself, being a normal person, starting conversations. And I didn't really have to do anything that crazy. All you need to do is just put yourself out there as the best version of yourself. Introduce yourself. It's just as simple as saying hi or what's your name. You don't have to go and be the most funny, charismatic person to get started. You just got to go out there and put yourself out there. It's really all it takes. And you'd be surprised how easy these conversations can kind of get going and they start flowing. It just requires you to have the courage to put yourself out there and actually introduce yourself to some people. Because if you don't, most likely, very few people are going to be introducing themselves to you. So once you get that kind of snowball rolling, it starts building and building, and as it rolls down the mountain metaphorically, it's just going to keep growing, and it's going to be easier for you to start introducing yourself to everyone you see, and before you know it, you've made 50 friends in a night versus waiting for people to introduce themselves to you, and maybe you only meet one or two people that way. So you really got to take initiative and put yourself out there. This is going to be the key to really tying in all that self-improvement you've been doing into your social success and allowing it to get you the results that you want. Even if you self-improve and you put yourself out there and introduce yourself to people, without doing this, your interactions won't go too far. And that is going to be trying to genuinely get to know people and prioritizing getting to know them above trying to impress other people or really try and talk about yourself and do all those things. If you seek to actually really get to know someone, this conversation will be 10 times easier the people that you interact with are gonna like you 10 times more, and overall everything is just gonna go smoothly. And I've even messed this up. So after having developed good charismatic social skills, focusing on getting to know people, I've started a successful business and thought I was the shit, and then was trying to always talk about the success I was having, and I directly noticed how much less people liked me when I did this. It was like I took away all the charisma I had developed just because I was talking about success and all these things when I didn't have any success, and I just talked about other people and was impressed by them and genuinely got to know them, continued asking open-ended questions, really trying to focus on them, obviously answering some questions about myself, but not trying to impress them directly or just talk about myself or brag or anything like that, but just try and get to know them as a person and focus the conversation on them. My conversations were 10 times better. So this is something that I would really recommend is once you put yourself out there and you introduce yourself to people, focus the conversation on them and getting to know them instead of trying to impress them about yourself or anything like that. The more you just keep the conversation and spotlight on them, the more charismatic and charming they're gonna think you are, although you probably haven't said that much besides just asking intelligently formed open-ended questions. And like we said, all the steps from earlier are gonna help you with this. When you're meditating, you're gonna be more present in the conversation, more focused. You're actually gonna be able to form those intelligently formed open-ended questions. Whereas if you weren't and you're constantly distracted, it's gonna be much harder for you to do that. And if you're just, grateful and more positive, this is just gonna all tie together and allow you to be that best version of yourself. So that's what you're gonna wanna do, is really just be genuinely interested in other people. And this is how you will win the hearts and minds of everyone you interact with. You'll make more friends than you could ever imagine. So if this video provided you with any value, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on this channel. I'm gonna be teaching you how to get better in every aspect of your life, from health and fitness, dating, social skills, mindset, discipline. So if that sounds of interest, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.